This area has some of the highest solar radiation available anywhere in the world.
This is known as cool paints, and in technical terms it is basically reflective paints which reflects the energy of the sun. Cool surfaces don't come only in paints. You can do cool tiles, you can do cool other surfaces by different other methods. But this is one of the cheapest way of really transforming something for the low-income houses so that we can actually make thermal comfort for people very quickly. By this reflective paint, what we do is we actually control the wall of the sun energy and we reduce it to the amount of reflection that paint can do. So what is happening is this is about 80% reflective paint. That means it reflects 80% of the sun energy back to the space. Only 20% of the energy hits the surface. Now, because the emissivity, which is the property of the surface, is 0.9, that means 90% of the energy that hits this surface and goes into the house goes back to this air, outside air. Now, only the remainder of that goes into the house. So you can see that majority of the energy is actually getting rejected or is going out to the air. And therefore the inside of the house is much cooler even though there's a lot of heat in the outside. And so you saw that in the other house, the surface was very hot and it was absorbing, while this is actually cold and it is reflecting. That's how this technology works.
It does a lot in terms of managing the comfort levels of people inside the houses, which would otherwise be done through thick insulation and thick ceilings. So it's quite impressive to see that you have managed to reduce with cool paints the temperature without necessarily increasing or reducing the internal volume inside through a thicker insulation.
We are trying to push for cool surfaces, which covers your fenestration, which is windows, which covers walls and materials that you build with, anything that is in a house, as well as the coatings that you cover your buildings with. And the idea is to make them as energy efficient and unpolluting as possible.
Isak, voordat die huis geverf was, hoe was het binne in die huis?
As het warm is, daar is het warm.
Daar kook dit daar binne.
Is het beetje warm. En daar je nog geverf was. Als het warm is, dan is het niet meer zo erg zoals wat die was.
Oké, so wat het altyd gebeur, toe hy nou nie geverf was, was het gemakkelijk in die dag? Of hoe was?
Dat dus, als het warm is, is het een beetje ongemakkelijk om binnen te bewegen en zo. Maar nou na je geverf wordt, is het een beetje warm, maar niet zo erg zoals wat die was. En als het koud is, dan is hij weer warm door de zij in.
Oh, oké, alright.
Volgens zal hij die vocht ook gevat en nou hier de laatste dag is het koeler geweest. Als die eerste vocht een beetje warm door is wat hij ook is.
I am enormously impressed with the performance. Dry figures on a page, looking at values in neat columns, does not compare to meeting the homeowners, going into their homes and seeing the difference in the quality of life that a simple product like this, and relatively cheap, with the enormous benefit to the people living in these homes. The thermal comfort is fantastic. If you paint it, if you paint on the inside,
it's quite a progressive methodology, and we welcome that, and we really would like to incorporate that in the arsenal of technologies that we use in the Working for Energy program.
We're very insistent on getting a mandatory, enforced code, building code that includes cool surfaces.